Right, we are back for another day in the life of a strength coach. That's me. Now, for any of you continuity lovers, you'll see I'm not wearing this in any of the videos, and that's because I'm recording this on a different day, because on Tuesday, which I recorded all my content, I didn't actually record an intro because it was the longest day ever. I started at 5:45 in the morning. I was actually here at 5:30 making coffee, but then 5:45 was the first group, and I was still here at 9 p.m. So I forgot to record the intro. So yes, that's why I'm wearing something different now, and I probably look slightly fresher faced right now than I do in any of the videos. But anyway, let's go. We got coffee, 5:45 group, 6:45 group, a bunch of PTs, evening groups, a bunch more PTs.
So,
even got some training in as well.
In my intro,
Let's go.
It is time for coffee, and I think I'm looking so tired. One, because it's 5:30 in the morning, and two, because I realised I was going to make a posh coffee for your viewing pleasure. I do usually just chuck an espresso with some hot water into a cup on a morning, but I thought, you know what, treat myself, why not? So after I finished brewing my espresso, I've got the scales there because I had to make sure it went to 36 grams. I got the milk out, and this is actually the first time I've ever used this milk frother. And I'm not going to pretend it wasn't delightful, because it was. Quick scoop of creatine, which I always chuck into my coffee on a morning, because usually I forget to drink it otherwise. Ignore the brown bits there. I'd spilled some coffee into the milk jug, and I was just being lazy, I'll be honest. And by the time I started pouring, I wasn't going to re-record it.
Cheers.
So for the 5:45 group, I only had Kim and Saiyan in. I didn't record a huge amount of this session. The coffee clearly hadn't kicked in, so I didn't record a huge amount, but a lot of upper back work for them today, a couple of shoulder bits as well. And then we went over into the 6:45 group, where I had started to perk up a little bit by that point and actually remember to even set the camera up so you could see me coaching a little bit throughout. So the girls in this session, they're all a bit like mixed abilities, and goals-wise, they're all a little bit different as well. The good thing about the small group PTs is I do cater all of the sessions. Hey, look, there I am. I do cater all of these sessions to work around everyone's specific goals. They don't just come in and kind of lift weights for the sake of it. Here, we're doing a bunch of hip mobility. A couple of them have some hip impingements at the moment, so we're just really trying to loosen everything out as we go. This was a really good session. The girls worked really, really hard here. I've coached all three of these girls for a long time now, so they're pretty good. I can kind of just get them cracking, as you can see here. As long as I'm around to point out the little mistakes, we're all pretty much good to go on that front.
Yeah, that's 6 down and 8 turned up.
No time for breakfast or any time to rest yet. After the 6:45 group finished, I had to fly down to the wholesalers to restock up on energy drinks. We go through absolutely loads of them, even though we're just like a little private studio. I also go through a large amount of chocolate, as we can see. Kit Kats we go through as well. But the main one, as is always the case, is cans of Monster. We go through loads of those. This Kit Kat cookie dough, though, delightful. But yeah, White Monster, which is obviously the biggest seller. We do go through a lot of this Nitro, which is actually my favourite as well. But as soon as I was done there, it was straight back into PT with Spencer. So Spencer trains midday, and this is him showing a 215 kilo deadlift, who's boss. Going through a really good strength block with him at the moment. He's dropped around 10 kilos, so we're working around the lower body weight. After the deadlifts, we went into front squats. We have been playing around with 1 week. We will go heavy on the deadlifts, lighter on the front squats, like we are here. Then next week what we'll do is we'll go lighter on the deadlifts and then heavier throughout the front squats. The front squats specifically will just carry over to his overhead press as well as his deadlift and pretty much everything else. If you aren't currently front squatting in your program and you want to get stronger, I would suggest we get them added. Now, after Spencer was done, I had time to quickly get some training in myself. Not a huge amount of time, I only had 45 minutes. And to be honest, my training has been pretty terrible since I competed a couple of weeks ago. I have a lot going on within the studio. I've rented out one of the rooms I'm busy getting ready for, and a few other things, and just generally life getting in the way. So pressing wise here, I moved up to 110 kilos for my strict press, which usually would feel pretty good, but I'll be honest, felt pretty shaky there. I actually didn't go for it, as you can see. I reset. I changed my belt positioning as well. The belt was a little too low and I felt I wasn't really braced very well against it. So jumped up to a double, which this felt all right, but still not really where it should be. Kind of top strict press I've hit 137.5, so I can see that I'm a real way from that. I did get a treble in here as well. This actually felt better than the single and the double, weirdly. It is something I need to work on. Just my static power is not really where it was this time last year, which, again, life gets in the way. I'm not overly concerned about, especially once I get some free time as well. This was a very, very busy day, though. I did drop down just for a back-off set at 100 kilos strict press as well, just to finish off. But I knew I had my next client coming in pretty much straight after this, so I just quickly blasted these out. They all felt reasonably good. There is some bracing work I need to work on as well. I'm actually going to put a video on my YouTube soon of some of the bracing work I've been working on. So this is Charlie. He's brand new. I literally only recorded one little video of him there. I didn't really want to spend too much time posting about him because he's brand new. I had too many things to go through with him. And then we got into Sonia. So Sonia, I've been training for around 9 weeks now. So she has MS. And when she first started with me, she was really struggling to press 3 kilos overhead. Couldn't squat at all. Now, squat when it comes to her hip mobility is still not great, but we're working on it. And over the last 9 weeks, what I will say about Sonia is she absolutely grafts. She flew through our session. That was her first ever time deadlifting, so really happy with her positioning there. Once she was done, we were straight into the groups. So this is Amy and David, who I've coached for a good while now. Played around with a bit of a time lapse here. As you can see, we ended up outside because the weather's getting a bit nicer as well. Lots of kettlebell work, a bit of work with the farmer's hand as well, just really working on kind of overall stability and strength. They absolutely flew through their session. And then I was straight into one-to-one PT with Lauren. So Lauren's not a strong woman. This is her first time kind of doing dumbbell. She said she wanted to play around with some of the strongman stuff. So we did a little bit of monster dumbbell practice with her. And straight from that into my 7:45 PT session with Joe and Rory. So this is Joe blasting out some sets on his bench press and Rory working on some dumbbell work as well. Both these are potentially getting ready for a competition. So lots of static work at the moment. And this was my last session of the day. And I was absolutely knackered.
Beth, stop helping him. Stop helping him, Beth. So the more I get to edit in this video, the more I realise I missed a lot of bits out. Because I also didn't record an outro. So that was the whole day. So I finished with PT with Joe and Rory. Yeah, it was a really good day in terms of coaching. I was very busy, which is never a bad thing. Real difference in terms of clients' ability and goals and things. So I've got obviously like Sonia, who I mentioned, has got MS and she's just looking to get a bit stronger. Got the group, so it's mainly just the girls looking to get a bit fitter, drop a bit of weight, get stronger in kind of day-to-day life through like the strong men who I coach as well. Yeah, really good day. It was just a long day, but hope you enjoyed. By all means, give me a comment, give me a like, give me a subscribe, and I shall keep on throwing out stuff like this. Anything you want to see, any more tutorials, any exercises you want to learn about, by all means, drop a comment and I shall do them too.